Hello YouTubers, Billy World. As you can see, there's no guitar today. I thought that I'd have a chat about the music business and my experiences involved in it, in the hope that it might help some of you out there. I'd like this video in particular to appeal to the younger ones, in as much that the differences that are about now in the music business are so vast to when I started. I first started when I was 4 going on 5, and it was something that you know that you want, and it doesn't involve money, which you don't know about at that age. It doesn't involve fame, it doesn't involve any of those things. It's just a feeling that you have and a desire, an inward desire to create. So to take this further, I went to churches in the choirs, and then I went to choral works, and this was fine for a while, but I wanted to be the big chief singer, the man about town. I wanted to be the lead singer. So getting a band was the next move, and those of you who've tried getting a band together would know what a nightmare it is. Anyway, you get the band together and you start singing, and all of a sudden you realise, hold on, my throat's not making it through the gig. I feel awful. This isn't working. So off along I go to the Birmingham School of Music, and I meet a fantastic instructress called Lisa Orell. And if she's about, please email me. I've only realised how great her teachings were in the latter years. So now, armed with a lot of frustration and learning period, you're going out there again. And the first time that girls notice you, you think this is nice. The best time is when you get paid. But this is where I'm going to stop on the payment side, because music does not have anything to do with money. It doesn't have anything to do with business. Music is creating art, and in today's society it's about the quick buck and the shallowness of everything. We have people in charge that are looking for throwaway products. This is not the way of music. You have these overnight successes to become, in 2 days' time, yesterday's news. This is trends and fads. Strong music is built on desire and inner wanting, not on fads or trends. They come and go. The biggest selling band of all time still to date in America is the Eagles. Now, they played music that they felt, they desired and they wanted, and to impart it on the public, hoping that they would like it as well. They didn't follow trends, they didn't follow a pattern, the same as the Beatles, the same as the Rolling Stones. They gave the music that they wanted to do, the music that they felt. And this is what I'm saying to you, to cut out the frustrations, and I've had many of those in life. I've had so many near misses in the music business, it's untrue. But the feelings of desperation and failure because of you chasing the wrong things are so very true. I've realised in latter years that the best thing is to enjoy what you do, which brings me on to the subject of judges. Now, judges have come about over periods of years. As an example, if you have 4 judges together, each judge knows that he is right or she is right, and all the other 3 judges are wrong. They know that they are right and the others are wrong. Now, this is based on personal opinion, obviously, because of the variations on the marking, scoring, etc. So it is their own personal opinion. Now, this is also a good air for ego with criticism. Now, that's not to say if somebody like Billy Joel or Tom Jones was to give me some advice, because as well as surefire certainties, they are very successful musicians in their own right. But more than that, they are institutions built up over a long period of time, with the music giving to people what they do best. I would say, and this is what I try and put over, Be yourself. Don't be a trend. Don't be anybody else. It doesn't work. An example of this is ABBA. Their greatest time came in the punk era. Now obviously they're not punk musicians, and it went against the grain when it's a punk era. But there they are, the most successful band at that period of time, I could say, along with Queen of course. But at their peak they were outselling, or their sales were greater than Volvo. And it's because you are being yourself, you're giving yourself. You're not occupied with the dollar, with the must do this, must advertise that way, because along this road you are losing touch with the creative force. Whatever you feel is what you should, if you are writing, you should write. The judges are not there when you're writing. They don't share your feelings. They don't know what brought this story about, but you do. And this is where your strengths are. This is where you should play. Trends will come and go. Now, if Billy Joel or Tom Jones were to give me some advice, then obviously I would perk right up and listen. And Tom Jones had said that he was not comfortable with judges that have never performed. And I totally agree with this. This to me is like a brain surgeon being given advice by a plumber. And all too much emphasis is placed on not ego so much, but presentation, and no music, no depth, no soul, no feeling. So I say again, the advice I give you, because I've been down this road of desperation and so-called failures, if you submit your work on YouTube, then you are successful. It doesn't matter if you have 20 billion views, 1 view, you have succeeded in putting your material onto YouTube. Obviously if it gets more reads, then the better, or views rather. But the thing to bear in mind all the time, and the message that I wish to get across, is to enjoy and have fun and enjoy the creative process. We're in times now where there's no venues about. When I was in mid-70s, I was starting, every pub, every establishment had a stage. There was lots going on. Every place had an entertaining section of a room, place or whatever. Now, with the price of the beer, the taxation, the driving laws, it's all coming to an end. You even have to have a full license for a karaoke with draconian powers that are coming in. I started out busking and I've ended up busking. And busking for me has been the most rewarding because of the instant contact with people of all dimensions, of all walks of life, and be it children as well, come up to you, chat to you, even interrupting a song. So what? And they'll chat to you and it's great. I mean, I've actually, and I still busk a lot at Bicester, but it is a very fulfilling, and it will bring on frontmanship, which seems to be a dying art at this moment, because it's preoccupied with ego and self-effacing and entertaining from a mirror aspect instead of entertaining an audience, instead of being yourself. Don't be anybody else. Don't do this thing what people say you must do, because the people that say I wouldn't do it this way, I would do it that way, are the very people that can't do it any which way but loose at all, and never will be able to. And you will always have that advice. However, as I've said before, people that do have the creds will more than likely give you constructive advice. And this is the way forward. So don't be preoccupied with chasing fame or chasing notoriety. If you ask a famous person what's the thing that they miss the most, they will tell you privacy. And it's the very thing that you have. and it's a very valuable commodity. Being famous or leading up to fame also means breaking down at Dartmoor at 2 in the morning, pouring rain, freezing cold. This is the fun of being on the road. You always have in a band, you have a joker, you have a serious person, you have somebody who's the heart and soul of the band, somebody who's a go-getter. This is what makes the unit. And these don't have outside influences of taking somebody from somewhere and putting them here and putting them there. I saw a show once, and even that was too old for me, where Roy Orbison did a spot on a talent show, and this female head judge at the time said, "It's all very nice, very sweet voice, and he writes original material, but he won't be going anywhere." Now, the Beatles were told that there was no more room for guitar bands, it was all over. So if these people had taken notice of what these so-called experts had said in the first place, we wouldn't be enjoying their music. So my biggest urge for people watching out there is to be yourself. If you write, as I do, it doesn't matter who likes it, who doesn't like it. You are putting something of yourself on paper or vocally or whatever, and this is where the importance is. Now, I didn't start writing till I started to play the guitar, and some people will dispute that now. But with writing comes, your knowledge becomes able to structure when you play an instrument, especially guitar or piano. So that was another facet that I wasn't even aware of. I wanted to be a singer. That's what I wanted to be. Incidentally, this video was inspired for me by my friend Josh. So he'd probably be vetting this and say, "Oh, you shouldn't have done this, John. Oh, you shouldn't have done that," which is what I'll say earlier on. But no, I mean that in the nicest possible way. But enjoy the music. Don't take any notice of all these people that know this and know that, because they don't know anything. If you want to learn from somebody, go to the people that do it. Go to the people that are the business. They're the ones to take note of. If you have an aspiration, a desire, fulfill it. When you fulfill that, you've fulfilled everything. You have been successful. This is the thing that you must remember. So enjoy your music. I think I'm very lucky. I have a girl that supports me all the time, and I have my downers, of course I do. You have your sad moments, and you think, oh, when I used to come back from gigs, I've done it in a band, I've done it solo, and I can tell you, coming back from a bad gig solo, oh, it's destroying. And you think about becoming a plumber, a painter. I'm not knocking these trades, of course, but I'm saying you're thinking of anything than being a musician. The last thing on your mind is you want to go back and perform again. At least when you've got a band, having experienced both, you can all be sad together, and that way there's some consolation in that. So for the people out there that are busting their chops to get famous, don't do it. Just enjoy your music, carry on. I see great buskers all over YouTube. I access them. If you go on my site, you'll see them. They're my favourites. I like Spanish guitar, flamenco guitar. Another story, Jose Feliciano, for those of you who know him, went on tour with gypsies and lived with them for 2 years so he could develop Spanish techniques. This is dedication. This is inward desire. This is what these judges don't know, will never know, and can't understand, because they are not it. You are it. You are responsible for your output. Do it. This has been Billy World, giving it large, keeping it live. Until next time.